And welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen. It is Your Retirement with Insurance 365 here on News Talk WJG. We do this the third Saturday of every month where we talk about you and your retirement, getting ready for retirement, existing within retirement. And our guests here, as always, on your right as you look at your radio, it is Angela Cradaville. And on your left, it's Jay Kenobi, proprietor of Insurance 365. You can find out more about this great group of people at insuranceagency365.com. Correct me if I'm wrong, Angela. 711 South 13th Street. And if you can't figure out which building it is, you're not paying attention. Right, Jay?
Absolutely. Big blue dot.
Oh, boy. It's Medicare season. And this is when Angela drinks a lot of Moscow mules in the middle of the afternoon. Right, Jay?
Absolutely. Delivered on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
No, we're just kidding. But you know what, Jay? Why don't we start by how trustworthy Angela is and what people think about the job she does when it comes to Medicare, because I don't know if there's a more complicated subject than Medicare on the map. Is there?
The two words that I hear most frequently with her is sincerity and thorough. I just hear that constantly because she's in her own office and I'll walk in there and just say hello and the people will compliment her and most times it's, I can't believe she spent this much time with us. Mm-hmm. She is so thorough. We've never understood it this way. And she's such a sincere, personable person. So those are just things that I hear daily that I know I appreciate a great deal. And she's been my business partner the last 6 years here. And that's exactly what I want in a business partner and someone to work alongside of.
You're going to make her cry, Jay. You're going to make her cry. We did make her blush there. It's Medicare season, Angela. So let's just ask the most basic question. What does that mean?
Yeah. So it's annual open enrollment. Enrollment, yes. Yeah. So what that means is October 15th through December 7th is when we can shop out your drug cards. The prescription Part D. Now is the time to look to see if there's a better plan for you. So a common question that I've been hearing or getting is, well, my drug card this year did fantastic. But the thing is, people do need to realize those drug cards change year to year. They don't stay the same. Your medication that you're paying for might change to a different, you might not be paying anything for it this year, but next year you will. So you definitely want to shop it out. You do.
And so when you say shop it out, what does that mean? Yeah. What do they do to shop it out?
So you need to go to a licensed agent like myself. You need a list of your medications. You need to know exactly what you're taking, the milligrams. That would be beneficial. That way you can get an accurate reading of what the next year would look like for them.
Anybody who cares for an older family member, maybe elderly parents, how many times is it you come over, Dad, you taking your meds? Oh, I think I forgot last night, so there's a lot to keep track of. And let's even talk about that aspect of it, too. Elderly parents who, sometimes they might even forget about what they're taking. So maybe the kids should be listening and be aware that it's Medicare season as well to go over and say, hey, Mom and Dad, it's time to do this.
Right. And a lot of times I do have, when an older client comes in, she brings in our daughter or son with them so they can understand it, because it is very complicated, and understanding the donut hole and how it all works and how everything changes. So I think it's very important that you get educated and know how your medication prescription plan works.
Okay, you just said something here, because I try to learn something too. You just said the donut hole. What is the donut hole? Because now I'm hungry.
Yeah, well, it's not exactly a donut hole eating. But, you just want to know when your medications will go up. Just because you're paying a certain price in January for a med, it might change throughout the year. So it's just very good to know exactly how your plan will work.
So that's probably the most misunderstood thing about Medicare Part D is, and you've shared stories with us as well, where people have just never changed anything because they're afraid they're going to lose something, or the government's going to find out something about them that, oh my gosh, I'm going to be uninsurable now.
Right. If you take a lot of prescriptions or expensive prescriptions, you should definitely look into switching or getting a quote on it, because you'd be quite surprised. You might be able to save a couple $100.
Wow. Yeah, Jay.
Well, one of the things, I guess the easy way to look at this, you have a drug card and you have a Medicare supplement or Advantage. But your drug card, what's the hurt in taking a look at it? Mm-hmm. There's no harm.
Right.
Some people
doesn't cost you anything to do that either.
Yeah, and you find out, okay, I'm good where I'm at, because like she said, competitors come in this time of year. So you have to step back and let's just use simple numbers. If there's 4 drug companies, but this year now going forward there may be 6. Well, those 2 that entered, obviously, Jeffrey, are entering for a reason. They want to get involved in the market. They want the consumer dollars. Yeah. So what you want to do is meet with an Angela and say, okay, here's where I'm at. Take a look and see, am I in the best for the next 12 months? Mm-hmm. And what we see so many times is people are buying from a phone call. People are buying from the guy that knocked on your door that's at the Super 8 for the week. Yeah.
I shouldn't laugh.
It's common.
And they're legitimate business people, but would you want to do some business with that? Because when you have questions later, the room at the Super 8's empty at that point.
Yes. And so, this is the time of year to visit and find out what's our plan for the next 12 months. It's not what's our plan for the next 12 years because it's going to change.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of what we see and hear about this time of year is specifically, let's take a look at this aspect. And even Angela addressed, some people don't have any drugs. What do they still need a drug card if they're not on any medication?
Well, that's a great question.
Yes, you definitely do need a drug card. So an agent like myself would advise you on how to proceed with that. But if you don't take a drug card, you will get penalized by the government later down the road when you finally do sign up.
Man, it'll get you one way or another, won't they?
Yes.
They fine you for not doing something. They fine you for doing something. Oh, boy. Only Uncle Sam, right? So when, at what age do I need to do this, and how does this tie into retirement, Jay? So let's say I'm about to retire, or maybe, how about this one? Well, I'm going to retire next spring. Yeah. And how do I handle that carryover, that 6 months there from the time I retire to the next season?
In simple, it's you get a plan. And you meet with Angela and say, okay, tell me what's going to happen. We had a guy in yesterday who was retiring in February. So we sat down and Angela spent about 2 hours with him and his wife and went through what's going to happen with their dental plan.
Yeah.
What's going to happen with their vision plan? What's going to happen with their major medical through work? What kind of deductible? What kind of premium? Was the employer paying a percentage of your premium? Okay, now you're going to go on Medicare. And now what is your deductible going to be? What is your personal expense going to be compared to what the employer paid? Do we need a dental plan? Do we need a vision plan? Then I come in and then I work with, do we have an income plan? So then I start on the finance. So Angela's very in tune to their health care, which encompasses a lot of things. Then I go into their financial plan, which means their money side of things. So, that poor person didn't get out for 2.5 hours because it was a half hour with Jay and 2 hours with Angela. But now they have a plan for February, and the rest of their 4 or 5 months of their employer, they know what's going to happen.
There's peace of mind, too, in knowing, that's a long time to sit in an office, but they probably walked out of there feeling a little bit more empowered or a little more in control of what's ahead.
People always walk out and say, I didn't know it could be this simple. Because it really, it's not complicated. Yeah. But it's something that you're not exposed to your entire working career. Most people go to their work and they learn their trade, Jeffrey. You know the radio business.
Yeah.
But if we said to you, what's retirement look like in a year if you're not here, you'd go, I don't really know. Yeah. Well, I couldn't come in here and do what you're doing either. So it's just a matter of, it's not complicated. It's just an exposure. And what we like to do is expose them to those things that are going to be out there and then obviously provide solutions.
What about the blizzard of mail folks are getting right now, Angela, and probably the phone calls and Jimmy J.J. Walker on television?
Right.
How do you process all of that? Or you just say, okay, forget it. I'm going to go see Angela, or I'm going to see my trusted agent who can handle it.
Definitely. Don't just take that newspaper ad and run with it. Mm-hmm. Call somebody that you trust and know.
Yeah. And if you don't know anybody, ask somebody you know to make a recommendation.
Absolutely. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Until you know what it is.
Right.
There's so many people come in this time of year and we get this. Did Angela send me this? No. This came from the carrier. Okay, so this is a form of advertising. It came from the carrier. It's not even the carrier that you have with Angela. For example, Angela has you with company Y.
Right.
And then somebody comes in and says, well, I received this, and this is what this is. People, there is so many millions of dollars right now being spent on infomercials, radio, TV, newspaper, direct mail.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars. And what they want you to do is switch. It's not always in the best interest to switch. Mm-hmm. But you have to have someone who's objective and moral compass and say, there's people meet with Angela and she says, you've got a great person you're working with, and they're doing their job, and here, congratulations. Yeah. And so it's not always about switching. It's why would you not evaluate the situation and find out what's best?
Take the time, that's for sure. This is Insurance 365 on Newstalk WJAG with Angela Cradaville and Jay Kenobi. We do this the third Saturday of every month here at about 7:30 in the morning on a Saturday morning here on Newstalk WJAG. You can find out more about these friendly folks at insuranceagency365.com, and they're also located at 711 South 13th. What's the phone number, Angela?
It's 402-371-3136.
All right, a quick break, and then segment 2, we're going to talk with Jay when we return to Your Retirement with Insurance 365. And welcome back to Your Retirement with Insurance 365. Angela Cradaville is with us. Jay Kenobi as well. InsuranceAgency365.com is where you find them. They're also at 711 South 13th right here in Norfolk. Now, Jay, I think it's important for us to revisit the story of what Insurance 365 is really all about and how you do business. We've already demonstrated a little of it with how Angela takes care of people who are going through the open season of Medicare and Part D and everything, but it's really who you are as an agency.
Yeah, it's, when we started this, Jeffrey, to go back to, it was 2014, and we felt the pressure of the internet. We felt the pressure of the local banks getting in insurance. Mm-hmm. We felt that a lot of people were just opening insurance agencies. The competition in the area was very heightened from about 2010 on. And a lot of it, like I said, the banks and people like that getting in insurance business.
Sure.
And we talked about it, and we were a franchise at that time. We were a State Farm franchise. I mean, that's yes. What everybody probably remembers Jake and Obi on billboards and things of that nature. Yeah. And Angela and I and the other partner, Adrian, we sat down and said, where is something unique that needs attention? That needs, our personalities wanted relationships. We wanted engagement. We wanted strangers to become prospects, to become customers, to become friends. And where were we going to get that sort of give back from those people? It was in the older generation people. Mm-hmm. I'll just be honest. We knew it wasn't in a 25-year-old.
Right.
So
most 25-year-olds don't think they need insurance, and a lot of them don't.
Yeah, and they want to buy it online and whatever. Right. And so we knew that we were going to leave this franchise, and we were going to create the most sincere, and yet we had to find a product. We had to find what's the product that they're purchasing that they're not getting individual attention, and we found it was Medicare. It was that product that we were asking our own customers where they buy it from, and well, I would like this, and I it's over here, and this guy takes care of it here, but then he didn't take care of it like he said. So it was when we founded 365, the name and the age, turning 65, all became a very passionate, consistent objective for us. Was we wanted to make the transition from work to retirement from an insurance perspective. We didn't want to get involved in banking. We didn't want to get involved in investments. We didn't want to act like a place that could do everything like so many other people act. Mm-hmm. We wanted to be the insurance place for you, providing insurance products only for that age group, basically 60 until the end. And it was I mean, we had lots of tough discussions like, should we do this? Can we do this? Is there a need for sure? And that's really where Insurance 365 was started. And thank God Angela and Adrian, said, yeah, let's do this. Let's leave the security blanket. Let's leave this big franchise with all these customers and start from scratch with an objective of something nobody was advertising. Mm-hmm. Nobody was out there. Everybody was advertising car insurance. Every time you go in the bank and get a loan, they say go to our insurance agent. I didn't want to compete with that anymore. Mm-hmm. I thought that was ridiculous, to be honest. And I didn't want to pose as something that could do everything, like a lot of people. We wanted to find that age group and make a sincere relationship with solutions through insurance products.
But you're educating people too. Obviously, there is a market for that, but that's what Angela's been doing. We've been talking about that. But Insurance Agency 365 is about showing people how to do things and how to manage money as well. So let me name drop here. Dave Ramsey.
Yep, we're the only Dave Ramsey agency certified, basically from O'Neill to Hardington to Columbus to West Point.
Right.
And we put on Dave Ramsey classes on Tuesday nights. And so people can attend those and learn how to manage the money, the debt, how to
right.
and how to give philanthropically to organizations and be a caring person and be financially responsible and get rid of college loans and get rid of school loan or home loans, mm-hmm. car loans, how to have savings accounts. People don't teach that anymore. In case you haven't noticed, that's not something our kids are growing up with. So we teach that. We also have retirement seminars. Just had a retirement seminar. We had over 100. The room was packed. We have a waiting list. We had 2 nights in the rooms were packed. We have a waiting list for our retirement seminars. We have Medicare seminars. So we're trying to be that place you can go to in an unthreatening environment. So you're sitting with 20 other people, and it's not a one-on-one, and yet it's very educational. You sit back, you enjoy a meal, and learn some things. So we're again, I think in business today, Jeffrey, we've talked about this off the air. I've talked about it with obviously other people. Being unique is where it's at.
Yeah,
it really is. As much as people try to, you want to be like everybody else, we don't want to be like everybody else. We want to be absolutely unique. So those are some of the things we're doing.
Well, and you guys are genuine about it too, and I can tell, and I think people even listening to this program can hear the passion in your voices. You're in the trenches. Angela certainly is when it comes to Medicare Part D. I think it takes a real special individual to weed through all of that and take the time to understand that, because I'm pretty typical. I'm not a detail guy. I don't want to deal with this. Just somebody help me with this and let's just get her done. And that's what you do. But Dave Ramsey obviously is heard Saturday afternoons from 1 till 4 right here on News Talk WJG. So if you want to know more about Dave Ramsey and his story, because he has a really interesting story too.
Yes.
Rags to riches. I mean, he almost spent himself into oblivion.
He did at one time.
And
when at the age of 28.
The age of 28, and he's bounced back now. And so if you've never caught the program, avail yourself of it, because you're going to learn a lot. And then Insurance Agency 365, as a registered affiliate of Dave Ramsey, can help you on that local level when you have those questions. And you cover those in your Tuesday night get-togethers here.
Yeah, and we cover so many things with just people coming in the last week. I've had 3 people pay off their house. Now think about that. And had no idea when they were. You can do this, mm-hmm. And it's just you just have to show people there's a different way of thinking than just payment. Yeah,
everybody just when you go buy something, a lot of folks, they just want to know what's going to be the monthly payment. That's it. Not what this is really going to cost me. If you amortize it out and you start adding up all of that interest rate, they'll go over that too on the Dave Ramsey Show, and I'm sure you guys go over that as well. Really look at what you're spending at the end of the day, but it's all about financial security, educating yourself about things that really aren't all that complicated if you empower yourself with great information and you surround yourself with good people, and these folks certainly are very good people. Insurance Agency 365. Insurance 365 at 711 South 13th. You can find them online at insuranceency365.com. Angela Cradaville and Jay Kenobi. We do this the 3rd Saturday of every month here on News Talk WJAG, and we'll talk to you again in November. So, Jay, thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
And Angela, thank you. We'll talk to you again next month.